Hello there! Today I am building a small glass castle because I saw that Simproved started a glass house challenge, so I wanted to try to make a glass castle. And here I'm starting to do the exterior of this build, but it didn't really work as I wanted it to. So I realized that I had to move to a bigger lot, so that's what I am doing here. And so here I'm starting to build this castle again, and this is a really simple shape, just like a normal castle with 4 towers on each corner, because I just wanted to make it a pretty simple shape, because I think it would be a lot harder if I made a complicated shape when I was going to make it a glass castle. So yeah, therefore I'm just doing this really simple shape. And here I'm doing all the towers of this build. Just normal towers, I guess. I really wish we had those other roof kinds. I'm not sure what they are called, but they are round. Now we just have the square roofs, but we can make it work anyway. We just have to combine different roofs, so that's what I am doing here. And I just have to make sure that they are in the same height, because it would look pretty weird if I didn't make them like that. And yeah, I'm soon done with the roofing. I guess it's a pretty simple roof on this build, so that's pretty nice. And up here there will just be like a balcony or terrace, or I'm not sure what you call it. And here we have the front, and here I'm starting to put all the windows on this house. And the rules of this challenge is that you have to cover all the outside walls with windows. And so that's why I'm putting a lot of windows in here. But I think it looks pretty cool in the end. And I will also be putting some glass doors here, so it's melting in with the build. But here I came up with that I wanted the first floor to be the highest length on the walls, so I had to remove all the windows and put them back there again. And same with this second floor. I wanted to have a higher wall height, so I had to put all the windows back there again. And then I'm just putting on some detailing on the house and trying to figure out how to do it. Because I had some trouble when I didn't have a wall here in the front, but I put it back to try to fix it. But then when I take it away, those details just didn't work. So I did like a little room like this, and then I could make the detail things work again. And here I'm just changing the color on the roof and painting the walls and changing this roof detail color. And then I'm just erasing the walls here on the inside, because I didn't want them there, because I hadn't decided the floor plan yet. But I'm going to do the rest of the floor paint later in this build. And here I'm just placing some flooring in the build. And then I wanted to have some details in those towers, so the windows didn't fit to be there, so I'm just taking this as a detail, and I'm using this very often. I hope we get more like roof details things that we can put in those kind of spaces. And yeah, I also tried to put some watches there because I thought it looked a bit too much with the same detail in every tower, but I didn't place the clock there in the end. So here I'm starting with the landscaping, and I will just place some fountains there, and I'm not that perfect, or I'm not doing that shape too perfect, because I was going to place a lot of rocks and bushes around there, so I guess you won't see anyway if I had done the shape perfect. So that's why it looked a bit weird in the beginning, but as you can see now, you can see that the shape isn't perfect, but you can see that as well when I'm putting in those details. So I guess it doesn't really matter that much if you make that shape perfect. And then I'm just placing in some bushes like this. And here I'm placing some stones, and I will place a lot of flowers in there. And I will do the same thing on the other side of this house. And placing some dirt under it so it looks a bit more realistic. And then I'm using these trees, which are probably my favorite trees in the games, I guess. Because I think it looks really good to have them besides castle like that. And other builds as well, of course. And I'm just painting with some terrain paint here as well. So it just makes it looks more detailed, I guess. And some more bushes just here. I will also be placing some grass behind this right here. Because it looks better with a lot of plants. And then I will start doing the backside of this house, and I will make this a little balcony so the Sims can get out here right into their backyard. And just placing some flooring there, and then I also wanted to have a roof over this, so that's what I am doing here, and placing some pillars right there. And I also wanted some grass on this because I thought it looked a bit boring if I didn't put anything there, so I just placed some bushes up there. And this will be the shape of the backyard, I guess, and I will soon put some bushes in around here. And I will fix that flooring up soon, so it looks good. And then of course I will place some terrain paint under the bushes. And I will soon place so the Sims can get out from the backyard. And just placing that bush thing, I'm not sure what that's called either. And painting some more. And here I'm placing some bushes just like this. So it looks a bit more detailed. And I thought it looked a bit boring if I didn't place anything else. And I wanted to place a little fence around this tree, but it became too big to do it like that, so I just ended up with doing a little square of fencing. And then just placing some more terrain paint as well. If you wonder why the screen become a lot more dark, it's because I am building in the morning in The Sims right now, and I was building in the middle of the day. But yeah, there I changed it back, so you can probably see a bit better now. And then I'm just placing a lot of more flowers in there. And some more grass right here. And I think I'm done with the landscaping now. No, I will just do some more things here, I remember now. And I will place some bushes there and some lights here, and I will place a little fountain right here. Because I wanted something fancy on this lot, so that's why I placed a little fountain here. Also changing the colors to blue. But I will still have those big ones in white and the small ones in blue. So here I'm just extending this fountain so I can place some more of those there. And then I'm just doing some terrain painting and just placing some bushes there. And now I think I'm done with the landscaping. So here I'm just starting to do the floor planning. And this is a really tricky house to do a floor planning in and to furnish the rooms because it's a really weird shape. But I like how I managed to fit the stairs in there. First, when I saw that I didn't have any stairs to the third floor, I didn't thought that I would be able to place them nice or anything, but I think I placed them pretty nice at least. And here I'm just placing some doors in, and it's pretty hard with those tall walls because there isn't that many tall doors, so I had to use a lot of small doors, and it might look a bit weird because they are so small, but I guess that has to work. But I really hope we get more taller doors soon because I would really need that. And here I am furnishing the kitchen in this house, and this was a really hard room, as you can see. I really struggled with those counters, but I think I make it work pretty well in the end. I should probably be thinking a bit more about the rooms and how I'm going to place stuff when I'm building, but I'm not doing that. So that's why I have to struggle a lot with the furnishing later. But I did my best to solve this problem and make it look pretty nice at least. So this was the best way I could come up with doing this. And here we will have some bar stools, so your Sims can eat there, but I will also be making a dining room for them, so they can have more guests over and eat all together. I also struggled with the curtains, because they wouldn't fit all of the windows, so I will just have a few curtains like that. It might look a bit weird, but I thought it worked anyway to have it like that. So I will keep it like that. But I really wish that the curtains could adapt to the diagonally, how you say it, wall, just as the windows do. But they don't do that now, so I had to just have 2 curtains, I guess. And here I'm starting to decorate this kitchen, just placing a few kitchen stuff in there and some flowers, because you have to have some flowers in your kitchen, in Sims at least, I guess. And yeah, just placing this shelf up here and some more details and some more lighting as well, so you can see something in here. And I will also be placing some decorative items up here, because it would have looked a bit empty if I didn't. I really wish that the Sims had made so you could place stuff up here without using the Alt+9 key. But they didn't. I know there is a mod that make you so you can place things there, but I don't want to use mods really, so I'm just lifting them up there and hope they won't disappear, because they do that sometimes. But they didn't disappear when I was finished with this build, so I think it's fine and that they can stay there. And here I'm just placing some counters, which I will be placing a few items on. Just think that looked a bit nice to have there. I almost forgot to place the garbage cans in, so I did that now. And I think I'm soon done with the kitchen. Just a few more items. I had some trouble with choosing the rug to this build, but I will be using this in the end. And then I'm done with the kitchen. So this will be the main bedroom, and the other one where I put a pink bed in will be the kid bedroom in this build. And here I'm just placing some mirrors right on the window. I guess you can't do that in real life, but in The Sims you can, so I did, because I really wanted to have some mirrors right there. And here I wanted to place some counters, but it didn't really work, so I will just place a couch here instead and a painting over it like that. And I had some problems with figuring out what I should place in this corner here, but I just placed a easel and a flower thing, which the Sims can cut. And I will delete those rugs because I didn't like, or maybe I will save them. I didn't really like them, but I wanted a rug there, so I guess I kept them anyway because I couldn't find anything better. And then I'm just placing some pillars in, just like that, because I think that looked a bit nicer. It fits to the castle to have it like that, I guess. And then I'm just placing some decoration items there. And a painting here, a really big painting. And here is the toilet. And it's leading from the two bedrooms. They will have to share a bathroom here, but they will also be having a bathroom downstairs. And that's a bit bigger bathroom. And there I just place some wallpaper in, because I thought it looked a bit more homely to have like a wall with some other colors than this white stone wall. And here I'm just placing in a dollhouse, and there's a lamp there, and a little backpack and some toys. And here I'm just placing a lot of posters, which make this room look a bit more kids' room, I guess. And here is the downstairs bathroom, and I'm placing those walls in here because it was really hard to make this bathroom look good, and I think those walls helped a lot, so that's why I placed them there. And just placing some curtains, and which make it look like the Sims could take the curtains down to the floor, so they get some privacy in there. And here I'm doing a little office room, and I had pretty hard time with choosing those bookcases, because at first I wanted some old looking bookcases, but it wasn't any old looking bookcase that fit in this house or in this castle. And so in the end I ended up with those more modern bookcases, which also made me do or place some more modern furniture in this build. So I guess this has been an older castle, but it is now a bit more modern. I know it's not a modern build at all, but it's just a bit more modern than I would make a castle usually. And also with all those glass walls, it makes the castle look a bit more modern than a traditional castle. And so in front of these couches here I will place some of those glass tables. First I wanted to make them like this, but it got too big. So I will just place 2 tables like this. And I really like how it looks to mix those glass tables with those old looking couches and this fancy fireplace. I think it looks really cool. So I will be placing some more glass tables in this build, and also some of those plastic see-through chairs. And here I tried to have some more traditional bookcases, but I will end up with those more modern bookcases in here as well, because I thought that looked the best. And then I tried to figure out what I should place right here, but I will be placing this butler statue, and then I will place some drink things on his plate. And I really struggle with what I should place right here, so I will come back to that later. I won't have a bar there because it looked a bit weird, and I will be doing this room first, and then I will go back and fix that corner up. So this will be the TV room, I guess, and I wanted the TV to stand on counters first, but it didn't really fit with the counters here because the room is in such a weird shape. So I will just have a normal TV table and place the TV on a normal table. And then I will have the same glass tables here as in the other room with the fireplace. And as I said, I really love how it looks with those glass tables and those fancy old looking couches. I will probably place it like this in other houses as well, because as I said, I really love how it looks like. And here I'm just placing some flowers and candles on those tables and some more decorations. And here I will have a stereo. And I struggled in this corner as well, but I will be placing a thing your Sims can sit on. And I think I will play something more, but I can't remember. Even though I built this today, so that's pretty weird. Right, this, and then just a flower. And I will place the exactly same things in the other room, which I struggle with, so you will see that soon, I think. Just placing the last items there, and here I'm just coping those items in there, because I think that's the best I could do with this space. I didn't want 2 big items because it was a pretty small area. And here I'm just placing some stuff on this bookcase because it looked really empty if I didn't, and I wanted this house to look lived in, and I like how that looks like. And I really wanted to use that chest that we got from the trick or treat thing. I was on the trick side, but the treat won everything. So too bad we didn't get any trick stuff. I really like that fish bowl that was with the trick stuff. but we got the candy fish instead. Which is also nice, I guess, because we could use that in like a kid's room or something, and it also looks like you could have it like a Christmas detail. So I might use it in some Christmas house I will be building later. And here I'm just placing some chairs and painting and details. And here I'm placing some shoe racks and coat racks. Just so your Sims can place their clothes and shoes there. And here I will place a lamp inside of this, just to make it look a bit more detailed. And of course the Sims need a mirror when they will get out there, so they can see how they look. And here we have this little place, so I just placed a little table there with some details. And here I'm just placing a really big painting, which I thought looked really nice. I wish we had that size of a painting with another color and stuff, like a more grey picture but in the same size, because not all houses, it doesn't look good in all houses to have like a pink painting, and I would rather have a grey painting or something in this build, but that will have to do with the pink painting. And here I'm just placing the last lamps outside in the garden. And then I will just place some things on the backyard and one thing on the third floor, and then I think I'm done actually. So yeah, I just placed those few things here and some pots so your Sims can plant stuff. And here I place a rocket, so your Sims can build up a rocket there. Not sure if that will look good, but yeah, they can do some rocket space trips. And here we have the screenshots. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.
Doni hinda Pingana io La tava meno Gashine obla Eve io con i magvanu Eve kini favaju Tu asano veni la pala